Hey, everybody, and welcome to a very special monkey fundraiser version of Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hello, Scribe.
Hello, Scribe.
And your Lord of Pennies is with us as well. I was going to say, give your pennies, and that's not what I wanted to say. Your Lord of Pennies is with us as well. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello, Satsu.
And I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey, and I have had sleep, y'all. I slept for about 12 hours when I finally went down. So,
My God.
Yeah. About the fundraisers, guys, I don't have a specific fundraiser. You know, I have many, many, many. Feel free to give and give generously. I will spend your money better than you or any other fundraiser could. I promise. Well, I don't promise that I would, but I'll spend it. That's what I promise. Blair's still live, says check your logic. I don't care. I'm funnier than Blair.
Yeah, but her live stream's called I'm Pregnant, so that's probably why.
My next one's going to be called I'm Pregnant.
Oh, okay.
You should change the titles to this one as I Am Pregnant Too.
Who's the father?
Lady Monkey.
Oh, shit. I did not know.
The plot thickens.
So how are you guys tonight?
Not pregnant, that's for sure.
I think I'm sterile.
Wow. That's
I'm
quite the announcement.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm okay. I had a couple of pepper jacks before the stream.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sober now, relatively.
Relatively sober.
And I spent my morning watching Judgment Night.
I still haven't watched. I will watch it tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, I will give this precursor comment. I think I might be guilty of picking our very first absolute and total dud.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, we'll discuss it in depth tomorrow, of course. But as I watched it today, I was like, yeah, I remember everything I remember about this movie when I saw it as a kid. I'm seeing now. And because I know a lot more about all of these actors and about movie making in general, it's not nearly as impressive as it used to be.
Okay, guys, if you refresh your screen, there's a new title to the stream.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Anyhow, so, and we don't have to talk about it because we just did.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's still going to happen because I made Monkey spend money on this, so we got to get something out of it.
Oh yeah, we'll still do the thing, so no big deal.
Yeah.
I'm sore, but I am so much better than yesterday because sleep just makes it better. Mash, thank you. Congratulate me. I'm the godmother of Blair's baby. Congrats.
Actually, you should change the title to I'm Pregnant and Blair's the father.
No, I don't want to use her name.
Oh, okay.
But if you'd like to be godmother or godfather of my child, the first person who donates $50 gets both of those titles. Do we have anything to talk about before we get on to this?
Not that I know of.
I have several questions, but I'll save them for the next live.
The next live stream. Okay, with that, Scribbles, did we have news today? I might have been awake for part of the day, but I didn't do shit, so I don't even know what's going on in the world.
Well, there's one decent-sized story as far as things go, but the rest of the ones I pulled up are all relatively potpourri stories because not a whole lot significant happened today per se. So I'll do the big story first, and then we'll do the latter three as potpourri. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Sorry, I was taking my pills. You asked me that right as I was swallowing. Don't interrupt a girl when she's swallowing, Scribe.
Yeah, especially a pregnant girl.
No doubt. Anyway,
Deadly California wildfire. This isn't a happy story. This is a warning, trigger warning. Deadly California wildfire kills missing children and great-grandmother.
Oh, fuck.
A woman and her 2 grandchildren, who had been missing since Thursday, died in Northern California's deadly car fire, according to their relatives. That's car with 2 R's. Melody Bledsoe's home was engulfed in flames Thursday. Family members then searched for Bledsoe and her 2 great-grandchildren, 5-year-old Emily and 4-year-old James, in area shelters and hospitals, hoping they were among the 38,000 people who have fled the danger in Shasta County. Quote, with a heavy heart, we are sad to inform you all that Mel and great-grandbabies were confirmed to be in the home, the family said on a GoFundMe page.
That sucks.
The Carr fire nearly doubled in size to 80,906 acres Saturday. The rapidly spreading fire, fueled by soaring temperatures, erratic winds, dry air, and heavy vegetation, scorched more than 32,000 acres overnight and was only 5% contained, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. It has already claimed at least 2 lives, destroyed 500 structures, and threatened thousands more. Quote, this fire is scary to us. This is something we haven't seen before in the city, Reading Police Chief Roger Moore, James Bond, told reporters Friday night, it's changing direction radically. The blaze is continuing its chaotic path Saturday west of Reading, prompting more evacuations. The fire began Monday when a vehicle suffered mechanical failure. Firefighters had been making progress containing it until Thursday night when it doubled in size. So a vehicle suffered mechanical failure, started the fire. That's nuts.
That sucks.
But it also says that it really didn't take much to start it in that area. So,
yikes.
Oh yeah, I mean, this time of year isn't California pretty much a tinderbox?
Yeah, it's when it gets hot like that around there.
Yeah, you fart wrong and you're going to set California on fire this time of year. I hope they get it contained. It sucks that some people died in it. That's horrible.
I mean, no, it's no comfort or anything, but at least somebody didn't intentionally set a fire like it did. Sure. I think that elsewhere they just started prosecuting a guy who set a big fire somewhere. But anyway, so that's the big news. The rest of the stories I've got pulled up are, like I say, potpourri territory. So Satsu, would you like to be the Vanna White for potpourri?
Absolutely.
All right. So we have Health and Human Services, President Holder, and Michigan Guns.
Let's go with President Holder.
All right.
I'm hoping it's about a president holding his dick on camera or some shit.
Yeah. Eric Holder says he's interested in being president, and he thinks he has what it takes.
Fuck off, dude. No, you don't. Go ahead.
Cincinnati Democrats wasted no time with Eric Holder. Quote, do you at least have any interest in being president of the United States? City Councilman Wendell Young asked him Friday. The first question to the former U.S. Attorney General as a who's who of Democrats in the Cincinnati area sat in a cramped law office conference room. After his standard caveats, he says it's something he needs to talk with his family about and won't actually decide until early 2019. Am I interested? He asked. Yeah, I'm interested. Holder, the nation's top law enforcement official for 6 years under former President Barack Obama, has been publicly ruminating about a presidential run for months. His standard stump speech is littered with criticisms of the Republicans in power, and with the Democratic field to take on President Donald Trump in 2020 wide open, because the Democrats have no outstanding individual yet, Holder, along with former Vice President Joe Biden, could credibly claim the closest ties to the last Democratic president, a potent rallying point for a party in search of a standard bearer. Yeah, see, it didn't quite work with Hillary, Secretary of fucking State of the last president, and sitting in when Osama bin Laden got killed. So I don't know that that's necessarily a selling point.
Well, in fairness, Holder is only really known for being with Obama, where Hillary still has Bill's name attached to her as well.
That is true. I'll give you that. Holder has a lot less baggage.
Oh no, he doesn't.
Decades. Well, at least high-end public baggage as far as Whitewater and her husband's affairs and all her other stuff.
I would love to see Holder run, just because we never got a very good answer on Fast and Furious, and I'd love to see him question about it. Yeah,
trust me, if he runs for president, everything we don't know much about him will be brought to the surface in one way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Holder, who has traveled the country as head of the National Democratic Redistricting Committee and raised money for Democrats in about a dozen states, has been upfront about a potential presidential run, and his busy schedule has Democrats taking notice, especially when his travels take him to states key to a presidential election. Holder's travels have taken him to Arizona, Indiana, and Ohio for state Democratic Party dinners, as well as Florida, Minnesota, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, Texas, Pennsylvania, Florida. Okay, you already said Florida. Why'd you say Florida twice, CNN?
They want to make sure you understand. And Florida.
All right, let me start over. Florida, Minnesota, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, Texas, Pennsylvania, Florida, and Georgia for events and meetings with local activists. Holder's meetings generally focus on combating gerrymandering. That last name was actually Gary and not Jerry. Everybody says it the wrong way. His cause célèbre since leaving the Obama administration, but his events are often peppered with politics, really, and invariably comments about his future. Few Democrats want to draw the scrutiny that will come from being out in front of the 2020 race, and Holder is no different. While he often acknowledges his aspirations when he gets asked about 2020, he also says he is more focused on what he thinks the presidential candidate needs than on his own future. He also
So
says
he's going to tell other people what they need, but he ain't going to do it himself.
Yeah, I guess.
Fuck you.
That's what he's saying. Quote, we need somebody who has the vision for the job, somebody who has got the necessary experience, somebody who has the capacity, physical as well as mental, Holder told CNN during a trip to... So Hillary Clinton was ineligible in your mind then?
Basically.
Okay. Somebody who has the ability to inspire people, to make people believe government can be the force for good and make people believe in this thing we call America. They have to be able to move people to bring up together in ways this president has clearly not done.
So no one is qualified.
Yeah, you can't make people believe unless you're like holding a gun to their heads.
He wants to make candidates great again?
Mm.
Real quick, thank you, Cryptic. I want him to run so he can expose his corrupt ass with gun running and refusing to prosecute the Lynch for her corruption with Bill and Hillary. Well, at the time, Lynch was the attorney general.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been a thing. I would love to hear more about Fast and Furious, though. I would love for him to actually have to answer questions about that.
Yeah. Anyway,
will somebody please tell David Hogg about Fast and Furious?
What I'd like him to answer is, how is it that in all the time that he was in the Attorney General's office, he never prosecuted a single high-level bank official for 2008?
Well, because...
Well, I know.
Scribe.
I know. That's one of those things. It's like, you wonder why there's a sort of a culture of entitlement these days. When you let people who are obviously responsible for things that are awful get away with it just because they're in a position where they can sort of say, oh, well, I'm too big to fail. It sends a message, I think, to society in general that, you can get away with anything and you're just kind of entitled to not get in trouble for it. But what do I know? Anyway, the other two stories, we have Health and Human Services and Michigan guns.
Let's go Michigan guns.
All right, I pulled this one specifically out because of the state in which Monkey lives.
I live in a state of confusion and Michigan.
Michigan school districts may ban guns, state Supreme Court rules. Michigan school districts can ban firearms on campus, the state Supreme Court ruled Friday. State law allows people with concealed firearms permits to bring guns onto school property, but at least 2 districts enacted policies banning weapons. Separate lawsuits were filed by firearm advocacy groups against the Ann Arbor and Clio school districts. On Friday, 4 of 7 justices ruled in the school's favor. Quote, we feel it's a great day for Michigan children, Janice Swift, superintendent of the Ann Arbor Public Schools, said. Swift said the policy, which is tied to a city ordinance about school disruptions, was enacted after someone legally carried a gun into a choir concert in March 2015. After the incident, quote, our board took a courageous stand to enact a set of policies to quantify the presence of a firearm as a disruption to the classroom environment, she said. A lawyer for Michigan gun owners said he was shocked by the ruling, and he thought the majority justices fit the ruling to match their opinions that firearms don't belong in school. Quote, this did nothing to enhance school safety, attorney James Makowski said. All they did was create a bunch of soft targets. Before this, there was at least a chance there might be a responsibly armed citizen in a school in the state of Michigan. We just sent a message to every crazy out there, unquote.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
If somebody's carrying a concealed weapon and you don't see it, you don't know it's there. So you can go ahead and ban all this, but this was because of somebody with a concealed gun that somebody happened to see.
Right. And if they think that concealed weapons of responsible gun owners are dangerous, just imagine the not concealed weapon of a person who's there to kill people.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's super scary. But whatevs. Let's be scared of those guns instead.
You don't have to be concealed weapons shouldn't worry you. It's the ones that are brought out and fired at people randomly. Those are the scary ones, and that's already illegal, guys. You can't shoot people just for fun.
Well, that's why this soft target statement is so true. They're just like, well, I hope somebody here has one if it happens. Because if anybody is scorned right now and has not been planning on shooting this place up because he knows that people carry guns here too, he's like, fuck yeah, here's my chance.
Well, I shoot people for fun all the time. I like Postal and Hatred.
Well, on a computer game, sure. But don't give them any ideas, Scribe. They'll start banning that shit next.
Yeah.
You can't carry a gun in Far Cry.
Carry a gun in Far Cry. That'd be hilarious if somebody passed a law that affected video games retroactively.
Yeah.
So you sign on to Steam and then you log into Far Cry 5 and this big notice comes up and says, due to Supreme Court action, guns are no longer allowed to be carried in Far Cry 5. And the game starts and you're just holding a rubber chicken. It's okay, and people would probably love that.
Oh yeah. You just have to.
Okay, so that, and then lastly, Health and Human Services official who made anti-Muslim comments and spread conspiracy theories resigns. I don't remember if I ever heard about this, but Ximena, okay, I don't know how to say this. It's Ximena, so it's either Ximena or Ximena. I don't know which, but either way, Ximena Barreto, a far-right political pundit who was appointed in December to a communications post at the Department of Health and Human Services, resigned on Friday. Barreto was placed on leave in April following reports from CNN and Media Matters that she spread conspiracies and made anti-Muslim comments. After issuing a public apology, she returned to work but was moved from her job as a deputy director of communications. Barreto's resignation was first reported by Politico. What did she say exactly? Okay. Liberal watchdog Media Matters has reported that Barreto called Islam a cult and pushed the false Pizzagate conspiracy theory, which alleged that Hillary Clinton was part of a child sex ring based in part at a Washington, D.C. pizza restaurant. A subsequent K-File review of her Twitter account, Republican Chick, found that Barreto also repeatedly used the hashtag #BanIslam and twice shared conspiracy theories about the death of Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich. Barreto also shared a conspiracy theory that French President Emmanuel Macron was controlled by the Rothschild family and that Clinton and former President Barack Obama were controlled by investor and Democratic megadonor George Soros. Both the Rothschilds and Soros are frequent targets of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Before joining HHS, Barreto did work for Donald Trump's campaign in California during the 2016 election. A copy of Barreto's resume, obtained by CNN last month through a Freedom of Information Act request, also showed she listed as qualifications for the communications job her previous work for a conspiratorial website and a YouTube show she co-hosted on which she made anti-Muslim comments. Okay.
Describe anti-Muslim for me.
Islam's a cult and ban.
Well, that one I got, but is that all she said? I mean,
that's all that they've
because
in this article. I want to see. They've got a copy of her resume up there. Let's see if she says what her.
Well, I doubt this woman is an atheist. All atheists would consider any religion a cult.
Let's see. What was her YouTube channel? I'm looking at her resume right now. The special skills, volunteer experience. Act for America, anti-Sharia activist. What else does she have on here? I'm trying to find her YouTube channel. Rose, no, it's a realty center, a banker. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there you go.
Alrighty. I mean, they want to fire her. I don't care. But interesting.
Yeah. So
nobody to me.
That is the excitement that I found in the news today. So There you go. I'll double check and make sure nothing has broken in the last 10 minutes or so. But yeah, the fire. The only other thing I've seen posted a couple times. I'll take a look real quick because this is like a really long story. But CNN and their investigative, fervor, and I can't necessarily blame them. It sounds like an interesting story. It's a $200 million scam involving a psychic or something. I'll read a little bit of it. Yeah.
I mean,
well, let's see.
That seems redundant to me.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah, I think it was 200 million. Let's see. I'll read a little bit just for the sake of flavor. After 2 years investigating one of the longest-running frauds in history, we finally met its central figure, Maria Duval. What would she have to say? ? Calais, France. The gate opens slowly, offering a glimpse of overgrown gardens, weathered statues of naked mythical figures, and a large white house with pale green shutters. We tried to soak it in quickly, not knowing whether the gate would snap shut as it had once before. This time, we were allowed inside. At the top of the stone stairs leading to the house stood an elderly blonde woman we recognized right away, Maria Duval, the woman we had been investigating for more than 2 years. We had never before laid eyes on her, but we'd seen her face many times. In old news articles about her miraculous rescue of missing people, in videos of her talking about her psychic abilities, on letters sent around the world. It was the letters that brought us here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me try to skip down here a little bit. The letters are written to sick, elderly, and lonely people, and they promised that Maria Duval would use her powers as a world-renowned psychic to help solve their problems. They could recover from ailments, avoid terrible misfortune, and win the lottery. And all they needed to do was send money. At least 1.4 million Americans fell for the scam, as did countless others around the world. Some wiped out their retirement savings. Others lost money they had hoped to leave to their families. Jesus Christ. Seduced by Duval's promises, U.S. investigators say people paid around $40 each time they corresponded with her in exchange for her guidance. So even if they only did it once, over 20 years, she raked in more than $200 million in the United States and Canada alone.
She's a psychic who, okay. All right, never mind.
Yeah, I know. Well, preying on old people. I mean, it doesn't matter what your pitch is. If you're preying on old people, you're a fucking asshole.
Well, I'm not saying she's not an asshole. But
I know. I'm just saying.
I get it. She took people's money, but they fucking gave their money to a psychic.
Oh, wait. Okay, I've skipped down a bit. I'll just leave this last part.
Go ahead.
This is funny. We also heard from a man claiming to be Ruel. I guess that's her real name. Childhood friend. Ruel said the man gave us a fake name and could not be trusted, though he acknowledged he had introduced him to Duval many years ago. Oh, okay. I'm confused. I didn't read the rest of it. Anyway, the man told us he knew Duval well, that she had been very wealthy and spent much of her money on, quote, stupid things and young men.
Oh, she's... Yeah.
Let me take a look at their picture again. Yeah, she'd have to spend money to get young men. So,
fucking psychic. Don't give your money to psychics, people. Okay, I have a new fundraiser. Instead of giving your money to psychics, give it to me fundraiser. You will get literally the same result, except I'm not lying to you about what I'm going to do with the money. I'm just going to spend it on me.
You know what this story tells me, though?
What's that?
Is that Sylvia Brown, the psychic who tried to find missing people and all that crap, was a complete fraud. Sure. She's an even bigger failure than she ever was, because she didn't make $200 million off her shit.
I'll give y'all a psychic reading.
Okay. Money. What's in my future, Monkey?
Yeah, it takes money.
Well, as part of the show. And in tweeting it, I am advertising for this show. And so after a fashion, I am helping you make money.
See, that's helping me make money, but that's not giving me money. See,
I'm giving you my labor and my time, Monkey. My time is money. I could be out there on the corner earning something right now, but I'm here to
spend your time on pizza rolls.
Monkey, I got it. I got this. Hold on. Your time is not his money.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. That's
fuck
perfectly
you.
said. Perfectly said.
What kind of pimp are you? Jesus. All right.
Craig said, I thought all women were psychic. No, they just think they are.
Well, anyway, those are all these stories that I had pulled up. So if you guys know of something else, by all means.
Again, yeah, I wasn't even on the computer today. I jumped over to Drudge real quick just to see what kind of stories were going, looking for a title. Nothing jumped out at me. I saw Moonves. Is it Moonves or Moonves?
Moonves. Yeah,
Moonves.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of stuff about him again. I saw California's on fucking fire. But yeah, nothing came up for me. Satsu, you got anything?
Nope.
Ladies and gentlemen, if there's a story you'd like us to read or consider reading, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to all of the stories, but we do thank you for every submission. Scribe.
I can read.
I fucking love that voice. I really do.
Okay, this one comes from an American Celt. This autistic student asked for a fist bump and a selfie. He got 2 Title IX investigations.
Jesus.
What the fuck? Okay. A fist bump and a selfie may have ended Marcus Knight's educational career right as it started. The student, who has autism, cerebral palsy, and a shunt to relieve fluid pressure on his brain, was not allowed to defend himself against 2 allegations in 2 Title IX investigations this past fall. His mother told the College Fix. Aurora Knight has raised more than half of the money to cover legal fees through a GoFundMe campaign as she challenges the sexual misconduct findings on her son's record. Though Saddleback College lifted Marcus's suspension a day before a hearing last month, it has thus far refused to remove the findings from his record, Aurora wrote in an update to the campaign Wednesday. Her son has limited expressive language capabilities and cannot negotiate social situations as well as others, she told the College Fix. Though he receives academic accommodations for his disabilities, he was not offered accommodations in the Title IX process. Quote, when we look at individuals with limited social skills, we cannot expect that they will respond the same way as a typical individual, unquote. Former Drake University trustee Thomas Rossley, whose learning disabled son is suing the university for a similar ordeal, told the Fix on a phone interview that Marcus's case, quote, goes to the whole problem with disability issues with Title IX. All right, so what did he do?
What the fuck did he fist bump? Somebody's dick?
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find where it says... Okay, the first incident occurred in the first week of September when Marcus was in the student services office and asked a female student working there if he could fist bump her. She agreed, but soon filed a Title IX complaint. The next week, Aurora and Marcus... Yeah, hold on. The next week, Aurora and Marcus were asked to meet with the school's Disabled Students Program and Services Coordinator, who allegedly called the fist bump, quote, inappropriate behavior. Aurora told the Fix that Marcus did not bump anything other than the female's knuckles. His mother told the coordinator that Marcus had been in the office seeking campus employment. The official allegedly said that would be totally pointless because Marcus was obviously incapable and should be taking adult disability classes instead of college classes. Though the coordinator said the incident would not go on her son's record if the behavior stopped, according to Aurora, the mother became aggravated by the description of a consensual fist bump as inappropriate. She asked the coordinator, did he touch her? Did he hug her? Did he follow her? Did he try to get her phone number? Did he expose himself? When the coordinator allegedly said no to each, Aurora then responded, then stop calling it inappropriate. He's just trying to make a friend. Aurora explained to Marcus that the female student did not want to be his friend, and he agreed not to interact with her anymore. A month later, an official who served as both vice president of student services and Title IX coordinator called the Knights into another meeting with police present because the female student had reported the incident as sexual harassment, according to Aurora.
What the fuck?
The student had changed her story to say Marcus hugged her, sat very close to her, grabbed her with one hand, and with the other tried to get her hands onto his upper thighs. Aurora said that did not seem physically possible given that the female student had been sitting behind the counter. Marcus acted out what he did, a two-handed fist bump, at that meeting. Aurora and her son were never allowed to formally defend him throughout the process and didn't hear back from the school between meetings except for an email from the coordinator recommending life skill classes for Marcus.
That is some bullshit, yo.
This, I've effectively been through this same situation. And it's not fun. In college, I was falsely accused of sexual harassment because someone had a personal grudge against me. And they cited something that happened at a LARP event in front of an audience that had nothing to do with anything, because I was playing a character, and they cited something I said and did as a character as actual sexual assault against them when they weren't even there. And I almost lost my my college tuition and everything because of that.
Real quick, thank you, Cryptic. This is why men become MGTOW. Men will always get screwed. Okay, look, even taking the men, women, isn't this guy retarded?
Mm-hmm.
So this bitch is targeting, and I don't just mean because he has autism. He's also what, cerebral palsy?
Yeah, and a shunt to take pressure off his brain from fluid that's there.
This is not a normal person, and you know what? You can make arguments. Maybe he doesn't belong in such a setting. That's fine.
Yeah.
But he fist bumped her with her permission. Fuck this bitch. She needs to be fucking kicked out of school for this shit. Fuck her.
I can completely empathize with this guy and his mother because in my direct experience, a school will side on the default of overreacting rather than underreacting on the off chance they could be sued for effectively professional malpractice or something. I got overly levied upon, and I didn't even get a hearing. I didn't even get a chance to defend myself. They just levied academic probation on me lickety split without even letting me have a chance to ask what it was that I was being accused of. So this doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't make it any less shocking or unfair or unjust. But this, I hate to say it, is common, and this is common now. It was common back when I was in college. What is it now? Like 15 years ago. So yeah, this is stuff that happens all the time, unfortunately. It just doesn't get reported as much. Like in this case, it's very special because he seems to be completely incapable of understanding any of that kind of stuff to begin with. And the girl changed her story 3 times. So
yeah, but this retarded kid who's being picked on by some fucking feminist twat.
Yeah, this is the type of shit though. When people are always saying the divide between the genders is getting like, this is that shit. This is the stuff that is making it worse and worse. It's making dudes not want to fucking even associate with women. This is the reason why fucking what's his face said what he said. That we're in this compromising position when it comes to women, because you're like, I have no idea, especially on college campuses. Like,
yeah,
really, a mentally challenged dude asks you for a fist bump that you like agreed to, and you filed the Title IX on. Now you see some shit like that, you like, I'm a normal dude, and I'm not asking for fist bumps or anything. I could literally just be in a chick's presence.
Yeah, I hate having to look at or at least effectively think about any woman I come across as a landmine.
Come across.
Yeah.
You know? Ha ha ha. Yeah. Okay. Monkey's the third grader there, not me.
Yes, I am, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. This whole situation is more retarded than that kid is.
Yeah. Well, we need to. This is why I understand when I was speaking out against people who think that, like, well, fuck it, we just got to do the same thing to them, and I'm like, I can understand how people can get to that conclusion, because they're just like, if it starts happening en masse like that, then they're gonna have to do something about it. Eventually, women are gonna start complaining that they're constantly being Title IX'd against for every fucking dude they encounter because they're being preemptive, and women are gonna be like, okay, this is a problem now, and they, that's, I can see how people think like this is the only way, but man, fuck.
Okay, well,
it's just insane to me that this is even a thing, that's even a consideration. One, Title IX needs to stop being used as a way to prosecute people in schools. As sad as it is, go through the police if that's what you think. If you think a fist bump is fucking assault or whatever, take it to the courts. Do not take it to a fucking moron who works for a school. Because, and by the way, you can thank Obama for that, guys. the Title IX thing, that it was never meant to be some kind of fucking court at school. That needs to go bye-bye.
Well, I can't recall if actually Title IX was used against me, but they effectively took every action that's being said here. It's just like without any kind of hearing, any kind of due process, we're just going to immediately put you on notice and academic probation. If you screw up again in any particular way, you're out of here. When it's like, well, when you make screwing up so ambiguous, I don't know what next step I can take without risking everything, you know? So it's like,
oh yeah, dude, I was like joking around with this one kid that goes to college about, Title IX or whatever. And he literally said to me, like, dude, he was like, I won't sleep with, talk to, hang out with chicks on campus, period. He was like, I do everything I can to avoid them. He was like, and if I do, for any reason, if I ever do end up getting with one of these chicks, I'm heading to the Title IX office immediately afterwards. He was like, I'm not fucking around with this shit. He was like, I got too much riding on my life. I don't give a fuck. We could have slept consensually and been talking about getting married the next day, and I'd have still went to the Title IX office.
You almost have to.
Yeah, like she raped me.
All right.
That's my pee-pee.
Let's see. We got an Amber Alert. Amber Alert issued for a 14-year-old Fort Smith, Arkansas boy asleep in a stolen car. Uh-oh.
Jesus.
An Amber Alert was issued on Friday for 14-year-old Michael Brown, who was asleep in his uncle's car when it was stolen in Fort Smith, Arkansas. While Brown's uncle went into the Sally Ann gas station in Fort Smith to pay for the gas, the 14-year-old remained in the backseat of the 2005 maroon Chevy Malibu, where he was sleeping, according to the Amber Alert website. A white male who was wearing a black T-shirt that said "Skills Gone Viral" got into the vehicle and drove away with the 14-year-old still inside. The suspect threw Brown's uncle's phone from the vehicle. Although the suspect and vehicle have been located, Brown remains missing. Oh, shit. The boy is about 5 feet, 5 inches tall and weighs 115 pounds. He was wearing a black WWF wrestling T-shirt and white Nike shoes when the car was stolen. So anybody in the Fort Smith, Arkansas area, if you don't already know about this, keep your eyes open, I guess.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That's just, yeah. What about... Ooh, how about this one? This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Man enters Florida store and chases people with live alligator.
Jesus, fucking Florida. Every time.
A Facebook video shows a man chasing people in a Jacksonville convenience store wielding a live alligator. The man yells, "Y'all ain't out of beer, are ya? Is he taking the last bit of beer? You aren't taking the last bit of beer, are ya?" First Coast News reached out to the man who posted this video, and he stated that it was all fun and games. I knew everybody in there. The incident is currently under investigation, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. It is currently unknown if the man has done anything illegal.
Yeah, is it illegal to chase somebody with an alligator?
Is the alligator considered a deadly weapon?
Did he pull it out of a holster?
What is it, an alligator skin holster?
Oh man, that's especially heinous.
Okay. One more from Colleen Bernier. Palm City Beach mayor jokes not to hire people who are fat, smoke, or who would get pregnant. Yeah, your joke is about to turn you into an ex-mayor. Yep. Panama City Beach Mayor Mike Thomas has apologized for making a joke at a council meeting that offended some residents about not hiring people who are fat, who smoke, or who would get pregnant. At the budget workshop Thursday, Thomas made a statement some found questionable at the Palm City Beach Police Department's request for another police dispatcher after officials stated the position had a high turnover rate. Quote, "You need to hire people that aren't fat, don't smoke, and aren't going to get pregnant, and that way you could save us some money," Thomas told Police Chief Drew Whitman in what he says was meant as a joke. Some city officials chuckled after the comment. Quote, "We had a 3-hour budget meeting and we were tired," Thomas said. "I was making a joke. I made a broad statement. Everybody in that room knew me and knew I was joking." A broad statement. If you saw the video and if you're a woman who's pregnant or looking to get pregnant, it might not sound nice. I apologize to everyone. Yeah, I wouldn't apologize.
Fuck off.
I wouldn't have apologized. You were great up until the point you said, "I apologize to everyone." Like, okay. Thomas, sorry.
Honestly, he's not wrong either.
Yeah.
Sorry, women's. Just with turnover rates, especially, it costs a lot to hire and train people, guys.
Yeah, so he reiterated that he was joking. And it's like he was joking, but
That's
these
a joke,
days
fuck
it
off.
might be enough for him to lose his job. So I guess we'll
Yeah.
see.
It's probably enough for him to lose his job.
Excuse me.
Oh my God, he said don't hire the women's.
What is this? Okay. This comes from Boatman99. I'm curious to know the logical train of thought in this one. Brexit could lead to spread of infectious diseases such as super gonorrhea, health chief warns.
Look,
Brexit could do this. I'm dying to know how it gets from point A to point B.
how?
Infectious diseases such as super gonorrhea could spread more rapidly if the UK leaves the European Union, health chiefs have warned. Britain is said to... Sorry?
That seems counterintuitive.
I know. Britain is said to be under significant threat from such diseases after Brexit if the government doesn't work out a way of maintaining a close working relationship with European health bodies. The UK's proximity to mainland Europe and high levels of cross-border travel on the continent mean that without a closely joined-up approach, the results could be disastrous. Niall Dixon, chief executive of the NHS Confederation, told The Standard, "At the moment, our strongest concern is the huge level of uncertainty. We are just not clear where this is all going to land. The only positive is that we can say this is not only about UK patients, it is about European patients who would be as affected as well." What?
That's like saying that because we aren't in a union with Mexico and Canada, we have a higher chance of getting super gonorrhea here in the United States. That's fucking retarded.
Yeah, what I don't get is like, okay, the UK leaves the EU. Suddenly, all health standards in the EU drop, and all health standards in the UK drop, and everyone who would otherwise have been or would get themselves tested for such things just won't throw up their hands in the air and cross the borders and fuck.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Fuck it, I got the super gonorrhea. I'm giving it to everyone."
Well, this kind of sounds like when somebody's giving you a lame excuse to stay when you're about to go.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're just like, "Hey, if you don't leave, I'll stop washing the dishes." They're like, "I don't care."
Public Health England worked alongside the ECDC and the World Health Organization to effectively track the infection. Well, why do they have to stop doing that?
They don't.
I don't get it. We work with the World Health Organization, but we're not part of the World Union. What the fuck?
It's nonsense to scare people about Brexit.
Yeah, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. If leaving the EU suddenly meant that you were disallowed from working with other countries regarding health crises,
yeah,
that's nuts. Anyway, moving on.
You use a much nicer word than I do because that's retarded.
Well, I'm a gentleman.
I am not.
I know.
I can be, but I'm just not.
Ay, caramba.
Uy, caramba. Let's see. What else do we have here? Let me find something. Okay, this one comes from the original Shroom. Ooh, we have a MSN.com exclusive.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
Kimberly Guilfoyle left Fox News after investigation into misconduct allegations, sources say. What, hers or someone else's? When it was revealed last week that longtime Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle, I think I'm saying that right, would be leaving the network, some Fox News and White House insiders were surprised that she was choosing to move on from the cable news channel and head to a pro-Donald Trump super PAC. For nearly 2 years, even once rumors eventually kicked up that she might join the Trump administration, Guilfoyle said that, as a single mother, she had to think of her son's financial future and couldn't afford to leave the high-paying gig, multiple sources told HuffPost. Guilfoyle's departure was initially billed as her decision. However, as HuffPost first reported last week, multiple sources said she did not leave the network voluntarily. They said Guilfoyle was informed her time at Fox News was up following a human resources investigation into allegations of inappropriate behavior including sexual misconduct, and that her lawyers had been involved since the spring. Sources also said that despite being told she would have to leave by July, Guilfoyle repeatedly attempted to delay her exit and tried to have her allies appeal to Rupert Murdoch, the executive chairman of 21st Century Fox, the parent company of Fox News, to let her stay at the network. So she did something inappropriate?
Sounds like.
Here we go. In response to an email with a list of 19 detailed questions, Guilfoyle's attorney, John Singer, wrote the following statement, quote, "Any accusations of Kimberly engaging in inappropriate workplace conduct are unequivocally baseless and have been viciously made by disgruntled and self-interested employees." Blah, 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 blah. She's completely innocent. Okay.
I wonder if she's touched his pee-pee.
I'm curious. It doesn't. Let's see. I'm trying to see if it says anything more about what the specifics might be. 6 sources said Guilfoyle's behavior included showing personal photographs of male genitalia to colleagues, regularly discussing sexual matters at work, and engaging in emotionally abusive behavior toward hair and makeup artists and support staff. Okay. Well, there you go.
All of those sound like things that women do on the regular basis outside of work environments.
Personal male genitalia photographs.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this dick this guy put in me.
Chicks used to do that all the time in the school that I was going to.
Oh, it's just rare to hear a woman being let go or pushed out because of sexual misconduct.
Yeah. That is weird.
How many more you want me to do, Monkey?
I didn't do anything on YouTube today, so we can go for a little bit.
Okay. This one comes from Just Angry. Oh, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Quote, U.S. should cancel debt of invaded colony Puerto Rico.
Can I just say fuck that bitch? God damn. She's an idiot.
Democratic
She is a fucking moron.
Democratic Socialist and congressional candidate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on Wednesday declared her support for a Marshall Plan, unquote, to rebuild hurricane-racked Puerto Rico, referring to the U.S. territory as an invaded colony. 120 years ago today, July 5th, 1898, Puerto Rico was invaded and made a colony of the United States, began Ocasio-Cortez. Quote, Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens, but they still don't have the right to vote federally, nor do they have voting rep in Congress unless they move, nor are they a sovereign people, unquote. Led by General Nelson Miles, 1,300 U.S. soldiers launched the Puerto Rican campaign against the Spanish-controlled island of Puerto Rico on July 25th, 1898. Puerto Rican troops were no match for U.S. forces, who secured the island by August 13th. Spain, acting through France, signed an armistice with the U.S. to relinquish control over the various territories, including Puerto Rico and Guam. The Spanish-American War drew to a close after the Treaty of Paris was signed in December. Ocasio-Cortez says she supports a Marshall Plan for Puerto Rico, an aid initiative introduced by far-left lawmakers Senators Elizabeth Warren and Senator Bernie Sanders on Wednesday.
Thank you, Meshishu. I've come up with a name for a group to deal with SJWs, Antifa, and other idiots. It's ASS, which stands for Anti-Stupid Squad.
I wouldn't want to be an ass.
Yeah, me neither. I'm good not being an ass. Here, how about we just turn their sovereignty back to them? You notice that wasn't a thing. We'll just give them all our money. That's let Puerto Rico be free.
Yeah, what would happen if we just let them go? It's like, you can be your own country now. We cut ties, financial and everything else with you.
Oh, people would have a fucking cow.
Oh yeah, the America refuses to support Puerto Rico anymore in their time of absolute need. It's just like,
Backscan says I'm already an ass. That's not fair.
Well,
I mean, it's
was
true, but
thinking
it's not fair.
They said it, and somebody said, Faith said, ass hats for sale.
Oh, nice. Let's
get your ass hat today.
I'll do one more. How about that? Because my voice is starting to go. This one comes from George Mason. Jilted husband awarded $8.8 million after suing his wife's lover.
Damn.
They say that if you want to play, you have to pay. This week, a Superior Court judge in Sorry?
I don't think that's what they mean.
This week, a Superior Court judge in North Carolina ordered a Texas man to pay $8.8 million to the jilted husband of a North Carolina woman with whom the Texas man had been having an affair. The award represents $2.2 million in compensatory damages and 3 times that in punitive damages.
What?
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. In an April 2017 civil complaint, Keith King of Durham accused Francisco Huazar III of San Antonio of criminal conversation, alienation of affection, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and assault and battery.
Holy shit.
In court testimony, Danielle King, who is 15 years younger than her husband, said she pursued the relationship with Huazar in 2015 and that her marriage to Keith King had been unhappy nearly from the outset. The Kings married in 2010 and have a 5-year-old daughter, according to court records. North Carolina is one of a few states where jilted spouses can sue affair partners. Attorney Joanne Foyle said the affair and an alleged assault by Huazar against King's company, BMX Stunt Shows, revenue, and an employee, as his wife worked for the company. Wait, what? And let's just stop a company. That sentence doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Anyway, Huazar's attorney, Sherry Patrick, said King's marriage was damaged before Huazar met the wife at the BMX show. Patrick says King was controlling and manipulative. He plans to appeal. Well, big surprise there.
Okay. I could maybe see a case for being able to sue your partner because that's the person who signed a contract with you. Suing somebody who banged your wife because she didn't want to bang you anymore. That's no, he didn't owe you anything. Fuck you.
Well, I mean, in the land of snowflakes where feelings are king, it makes sense.
I suppose.
King, you heard me?
Oh, my bad. I meant where feelings are gender neutral.
Your queen.
Nah, Queen is still.
No, I was talking about the last name of the guy in the story.
Yeah.
Shit! I forgot that was his last. Yeah, that went way over my head. I completely forgot that was his last name.
All right. Well, I'm done reading. If you guys want to do more, but my
No, that's good. Let's move on, guys. Thank you so much for those contributions to our show. Because without you, half the time we wouldn't have anything to fucking talk about. Satsu, did you do anything on the YouTube today?
Other than upload the regular videos on 2 Cents Plus and the first episode of our outside the stream series of Far Cry. Nope. Sure didn't. But we did start Far Cry, start streaming it yesterday, and the stream went really well.
Once the game finally worked for us.
Yeah.
Because I logged on and had a Uplay update. And then what did it take us? Half an hour before the fucking game let us get together to play?
Yeah, it was weird. But we are actually playing co-op now, and we'll be playing again tonight. So if you like Far Cry 5 and you wanted to see us play through it, we are playing through it now, and it is a good time.
Don't just watch if you only like Far Cry. Watch if you like me and Satsu, because we're funny as shit on there.
How funny is shit?
It's as funny as we are on that show.
Oh, okay.
So that's a great question there, Scribe. You should come by and watch.
It's the only kind of questions I have.
I've noticed that about you.
I know, right?
I didn't do anything today, guys. I haven't done anything in a couple of days. I have the script started for the video I've been talking about. I haven't gotten back to it. I probably won't tomorrow either because Scribe and I will be doing our movies you should have watched, which he's now telling me I probably shouldn't watch.
No. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's not awful or anything in that sense. It's just like I said, memories are sometimes sweeter than realities, but we've talked about that before on the show. So
we will be doing the Far Cry stream tonight. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. We will be doing our ARC playing with subscribers thing. You can go over to the server now. All of the information is linked on both mine and Satsu's Discord. You can find links down below for that. Also, guys, if you're not doing so already, make sure you follow us on Twitter. we get a lot of people telling us they didn't get notices of streams and stuff. We always tweet it out. And that information is down below too. Scribe, I'm trying to let your voice rest for a moment. So
I
I'm
appreciate
trying to
that.
I'm trying to think of other shit to say here.
It's okay. No, I'm not disabled. I just needed to stop doing.
Well, how about this?
Speed.
Let's do your video real quick, and then I'll take over for fucketry time.
Okay, so I put out my video today. It's a little longer than I'd first anticipated because, like I said last night, the first version I had just kind of left things hanging without sort of a wrap up, and so I decided to just make it a little bit longer than I had intended. It's a guy from Wikimedia, the people in charge of Wikipedia, and the topic of the discussion, or the presentation, I should say, is what can feminism teach us about knowledge equity? And I didn't know what knowledge equity was. As far as I recall, he never defines it per se, but I take it to mean over the course of the 35-minute presentation, of which every minute I watched and listened to. It basically means, the idea that knowledge should be free and accessible to everybody, which is something that I, fundamentally don't have a problem with. The problem is that he tries to tie the struggles of achieving knowledge equity on similar levels with the struggle of feminism against, society and the world, or the problems women had in achieving, voting rights and equal pay and things like that. So he tries to do this narrative, trying to go back and forth and compare what they do as Wikipedians and the importance of their work alongside the barriers that women faced in the feminist movement. He doesn't do a very good job of it, but the entire time I'm kind of like, he keeps mentioning things like, challenging the status quo with opening up pathways of knowledge to marginalized people and people of color and, and indigenous knowledge and ideas that would otherwise be dismissed as unnecessary or something. And it was just kind of like, what is he getting at? What's the point of this? Because it was just so meandering. And he said a lot of crazy stuff in there as well, which I detail in the video. But the ultimate result of this, after 35 minutes, his final example to sort of frame what he's talking about is a time where he submitted an edit to a Wikipedia policy that was rejected.
Mm.
His idea was voted down, and he's a sore loser, is basically the short version of it. Because he says at the end, the last section of his talk is about allies in the cause or something, I guess, or solving the problem. And he said, I put this idea out there, and 7 voted for it, but 10 voted against, so it lost. Now, if only it had more allies, we could have pushed this over the status quo. And I'm like, allies? Do you mean sycophants?
People who think just like me. Real quick, thank you,
Yeah.
Diesel Dave. Diesel says that dude is a moron. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was really, and I try to make light of it because the guy, you want to talk about passive aggressive. He goes through this long, meandering sort of, on my high horse kind of stuff about so many things. I can't, I'm not going to recreate the whole video here, but it was a very impressive way of throwing a tantrum. Let me just put it that way. So that's my interpretation. The video is out there for anybody else to watch. And it is long. And it's one of my longer ones. It's 32 minutes, I think. But it goes by quick, I think. So whatever. Anyway, that's what I worked on today.
Seems like one of those people who considers themselves an ally of the colored people. And they're upset because every time they try to step in and interject and tell colored people how they're supposed to think, they tell them to shut the fuck up and go sit down somewhere. And they're just like, ugh.
Well, yeah, it was.
Why aren't the Negroes agreeing with me?
It's one of those things where opposition equals oppression, or disagreement equals a crime against truth or something like that. That was kind of the sense I got from him and his complaints and things. So anyway, I looked him up. He is a senior program manager or policy manager or something at Wikimedia. So he's not he's not just some guy off the street. This wasn't a TEDx talk. This was like Wikimedia officials having a conference or something. So,
well, isn't that the basic gist of he for she as well? Women need a lot more allies because their stupid shit isn't taking hold. So we need the men's to come in and be your allies.
Yeah. Well,
I guess that's what feminism taught him. Huh.
I know, and I said that at the end. I said, well, I guess feminism and this guy do have something in common. It's like anyone who disagrees with you is an enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. With that, we have fucketry time. As I said, I wasn't online. So, Satsu, did you see anything today?
Nothing that really stood out. I spent very little time on Twitter. I just checked my notifications. So,
so sorry.
And I didn't even go to Facebook at all today.
Well, that's probably better for your health.
That is true.
I was just scrolling through looking to see if I could find anything fucketry wise, and it's not so much fucketry as this is something I've seen several times that really bugs me, and this time it comes from Lily Singh, Superwoman. Fuck that bitch. Anyway, she posted this afternoon. A few realities to keep in mind. Everyone has a different line in regards to what offends them. There is no universal law. And with that, I agree with her.
Mm-hmm.
But what she says next is something I've seen many times, and it irritates the shit out of me. So even though you can see, read, and listen to almost everything online, that doesn't mean everything requires your input, especially if you're not informed. The not informed part, I get that. But I'm so tired of people posting shit publicly and then being upset that people comment on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also, it'll be one of those people, and this is what really gets me too. These people be like, just because something's online doesn't mean it needs your input. Sometimes you should just keep your mouth shut. But they also put a comment on that same thing, but it was positive.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you commented on the same thing, but you happen to say something positive, but you're going to tell everybody else. If you're not mimicking what I'm saying, then chances are we don't need to hear it. And it's just like, no, if you're going to take a stance that just because something's public, you don't need to speak about it, then I better not see you speaking on anything.
Well, that's how it up. They never complain. It's the same thing. If somebody goes, she's so pretty, you never hear people go, don't you dare judge how she looks.
Yeah.
That's only if they're fat or ugly. That's the only time it's inappropriate to do that. But I've seen this several times. Anytime there's an argument, well, you didn't have to comment on this. You didn't have to fucking post it. I mean, if we're talking about things you don't have to do, there's a whole bunch of shit you don't have to. You didn't have to log on to the fucking internet. You didn't have to log into Facebook or Twitter. And you didn't have to post whatever the fuck you post. But you do. And that gives me just as much right to fucking reply to it. If you don't want it seen, don't make your shit public. Why is that so hard to grasp?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with, don't talk to me when I'm out in public unless you're attractive enough. Don't comment on my shit unless you're saying something I like. Don't share my content or anything like that unless you're saying something positive about it. It's fucking stupid.
It's almost like they don't understand what public discourse is.
Well, they do. They just want it to work in one direction. They're like, I want to interact in the world and I want to go out into the world and speak publicly. I just don't want the other side of it. So yes, saying something publicly could mean many people can come out and see how awesome and amazing you are and tell you. But that other part, I don't want that to happen. I don't want the other half of it to happen. I don't want people to disagree with me or say that I'm not correct. So I could do away with that.
but there's also the hypocrisy of them then commenting on whatever it was you said.
Exactly. Like, you mean how you're commenting on my comment. I commented on theirs and you told me I didn't have to say anything. And then you commented on mine telling me I didn't have to say anything, which was you doing something you didn't have to do.
Do we need to start having classes on just public discourse as mandatory in schools or something, just to sort of do away with this oversensitivity to, or at least understanding the risks of, if you put something out in the public square anticipate that someone will say something you may not like.
No, because they know.
I feel that the problem with that idea, Scribe, is that it would be turned into don't say things people don't like. Because
well, like I said, they know. These people aren't ignorant to the fact that this is a thing. They're just trying to change the social norms, so to speak, and make it to where, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, ever. Unless you're me or anybody else that I agree with, because we can say whatever the fuck we want. But as long as I don't like you or you're not saying something that I agree with, then you shouldn't be able to. But like I said, this is a part of the free speech thing that's been going on now, where some people think that it only applies to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get how they don't see the hypocrisy. Just her statement is hypocritical.
Yeah,
it like you're saying you don't have to respond to stuff or say stuff, but you're saying stuff you don't have to say
right now in this exact moment.
Yeah.
You think it might be like a conscious or maybe unconscious filter to see which responses she gets to know who she has to block, and then keep those that will agree with her there?
I didn't see her original tweet. What I saw was her responding to, or she retweeted it out.
Oh, okay.
And hang on, let me find exactly where. I got to find her retweet. I clicked off of it. Here it is. She had tweeted out, and I followed this. It says, a lot of people are ignoring the word required in point 2. I'm not saying you don't have free speech. I'm saying you don't need to feel compelled to use that right all the time. Sometimes it's okay to just listen and learn, especially on a subject you're not educated in. Well, one, I've seen a lot of what Lily Singh posts, and she probably shouldn't open her mouth at all. She's a fucking nitwit. But I'm just saying you're not required to speak. No, what you're saying is people that don't say what you like, you don't want them talking to you. Right. You only want people to tell you, you're so amazing. I wish I thought of that. And it's fucking stupid. So to your point, no, I don't think it's just her trying to, find people to get out of her feed kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's her trying to be profound, and she's just not. And most of the people I see say this stuff, it's usually an argument. There was one recently. I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but somebody made a post and another person commented on it, and they're like, you don't have to respond to everything you see. And they're like, I didn't. I just responded to you when I thought you were wrong. Like, well, you didn't have to do that. Like, you're posting in public, motherfucker, on a public forum. Literally a forum that Donald Trump was just told he has to let everybody read.
All right.
It bothers me. It's just another one of those things that it's, if you're that thin-skinned, you don't belong in the public space. And that's not to say you can't be like an actor or something, because like Harrison Ford is a very famous actor, but you never hear about him, expressing his opinion. He just does his acting thing and then goes home and lives his life. You can be as famous as you want to be, but once you start putting your opinion, just yours, out in the public space, in a place where I can reply, don't be surprised if I do. And then don't tell me you don't have to do it. I know I don't have to, motherfucker. I'm doing it because I like to.
I don't know, man. I feel like the only appropriate response to that is okay.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know that I had choices. I thought I had to say this. It's a good thing to know that we live in America, and I made a decision to. Thank you for acknowledging that.
As you see that second post, I mean, she's obviously, people have said that to her. I have the right to say this. You don't need to feel compelled to. Well, don't say stupid shit, and I won't feel compelled to respond to your stupid shit. How about that?
I just want to ask her, like, well, what compelled you to say this right now? Like, what is compelling you right now? Because you need to find whatever it is and tell it to stop it. Because apparently it's not working well with your initial argument. People are so dumb.
Literally literally makes no goddamn sense.
People are so dumb. But they are enjoyably dumb. So
sometimes enjoyably.
I have become enjoyably numb. Or sorry, dumb.
That first one kind of applies. And to a certain degree. Because some of these articles I'll be reading. Speaking of that, I know I said I saw something that didn't stand out, but it really did. But once again, I am so numb to this shit that I'm just like, that was nothing. But I'm gonna read it. Sex offenders, including pedophiles, should be allowed to adopt, says.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this is in the Telegraph.
No.
Yeah, I know.
No. Well, go ahead and read
it. This title is different than it was before. That's weird.
Uh-oh. Did they get flack and they changed their tune?
It said some experts say before.
And
now it says sex offenders, including pedophiles, should be allowed to adopt, Theresa May told, and then it just cuts off there.
Oh, someone told her they should be allowed to? Is that what I'm supposed to read?
Theresa May told, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Helen Rees, a reader in law in London School of Economics, called on Theresa May, the Home Secretary, to relax rules which automatically ban sex offenders from caring for children, saying that this could breach their human rights.
Are you fucking kidding? Oh my god! Now wait. Okay, I do want to say this. Because of the laws we have here in the U.S., you can get put on the sex offenders list for things that's not actually like peeing in public. You can end up on the list.
Yeah.
That's not a sexual thing. Yeah, you need to keep your junk up. So in that case, I would agree with you. That doesn't automatically mean you shouldn't be able to adopt. You should probably have some parenting classes first. But if you're talking about somebody who touched kids or somebody who raped a woman, fuck you.
Let's see. In an article in the respected Child and Family Law Quarterly, Ms. Rees suggested that the reoffending rates were not high among sex criminals, adding that despite growing public concern over pedophilia, the numbers of child sex murders are very low.
Wait. It's not just about child sex murders.
Yeah.
I fucking hate people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
A review is currently ongoing into the vetting and the barring scheme. Is that barring? Yeah, barring scheme. Introducing the following 2002 Sham murders amid concerns by ministers that it's too heavy-handed. Yeah, I don't know about that, man.
Look, it's not okay. Yeah, children getting murdered by the person who's raping them is bad, but them being raped just in general is bad. Why does this need talk? Why? Oh my God! Stop trying to make pedophilia and rape. Is rape now going to be a sexuality too? Is that what they're deciding?
Sexual orientation? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if by the argument made by that girl on the TEDx talk, someone who has an uncontrollable compulsion that involves sex in any way, shape, or form, or sexuality, thus equates to a sexual orientation. So, yeah. a serial sex murderer could be, by their logic, considered a sexual orientation, or that is a sexual orientation. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, she says there is no reason why all sex offenders should not be considered as potentially suitable to adopt or foster children. Or work with them.
No reason.
There is no reason.
There's no reason. Oh, okay. Well, I must have missed that part.
My fucking head is going to explode, but go ahead. Please read this. I'm so curious.
Yeah, the vetting and barring scheme and other legislative measures single out sex offenders for unfair special treatment, and they destroy the principle that a prisoner pays his or her debt by serving their sentence before re-entering the society on equal terms. Individuals are placed on the barred list and banned from working with youngsters and vulnerable adults if they are convicted of sexual or violent offense or one involving a mistreatment of a child. Well, yeah.
Where's the unreasonable part? That's what I want to know. Because I haven't heard any unreasonable part yet.
So hold on. If somebody went to jail for like substance abuse or some shit, or just like selling, opioids or something like that, how likely is it they'll get a job as a pharmacist?
Well, using this logic, that's what they should be getting a job as.
Yeah, like just the fact that that's even a mention, you'd be like, no, are you fucking
It
serious?
fucking hurts my head.
Absolutely not. And see what I said? I was just like, I didn't see anything noteworthy today.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Let me see here. Where did I? She highlighted a case of a grandfather with a conviction for having sex with a 15-year-old dating back to when he was 29, who was refused permission to adopt his own grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in England, isn't the age of consent 16?
I think so.
Real quick, Diesel Dave, thank you. Let them adopt so they can have a captive victim. Exactly. I'm not, especially given what you can end up on the sex register for. I have no problem going case by case. If take an extreme example, somebody's 18, they had sex with a 16-year-old who they end up married to for life. They should be able to adopt. Somebody who, what was he, 29?
Yeah, he was 29.
Banged a 15-year-old. I'm okay with him not being around children.
Yeah. Anyway, I will tag you guys in this. You can
Jesus fuck, what is wrong with this world?
Check it out for yourselves. But yep, that's a thing.
There was something. Oh, I wanted to talk about schools sucking, but I don't remember why we were going to talk about schools sucking. That was from yesterday, and I can't remember. Damn it.
That doesn't help me, Monkey.
I know. Shit. What? Why were we going to talk about schools sucking?
Other than the fact that they do, I'm not sure.
We had discussed it because of the show that I had watched, Last Chance U.
Right.
And all of these kids who have obviously been through the high school system, who are fucking morons. And I don't mean that in the fucking moron sense like that article Satsu was just talking about. I mean, they're dumb. I don't believe they could do simple math. But there was one teacher in the third series of this that actually made me very happy. She's a little bit SJW-y, but she reminded me of a teacher I had way back in 7th and 8th grade. Diesel Dave, damn it, Monkey, you read that as a statement. It was a question.
What?
Oh, he's talking about the captive victim one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Diesel. I'm sorry it came off that way. Luckily, the chat now runs beside this, so people who see it later, they'll see your question mark. I apologize. Dave was not advocating that. He was asking, so that's a thing now? Yeah.
I assumed that it was a question. You just the way you read it made it seem like that he was
entirely my fault, inflection. But anyway, this teacher, one of the guys, as you might imagine, a lot of the people in this are black because it's sports, not because black people are dumb, because it's sports. And the white people are just as dumb. Let me point it out, but there's not very many of them because it's sports and we're not as good as the black guys are at it. Just throwing that out there. But this one teacher, one of the guys drops the N-word and she loses her fucking mind. She's black. And she's like, you do not say that around me. You don't say it in my classroom. And I remember growing up, but before it became okay to say the N-word again, if a black person heard a younger black person say it, they would lose their mind on him like that. Like, don't say that. It's
oh yeah.
Fucking... And just watching this teacher though, she reminded me of my Mrs. Lumpkin. Mrs. Lumpkin was my teacher in 7th grade and 8th grade. And all of our 7th grade teachers moved up to 8th grade. The 7th and 8th grade teachers decided to switch in that school. So it was really cool. We got the same teachers for 2 years in a row. But she did not suffer fools. And if somebody was using, one of the things we always did is go to the library on lunch to play on the computers. And I would ask if I could have a pass, and she'd say, sure. And this kid who sat next to me, he would ask if he could go to the library, and she'd tell him no. And this went on for like 2 months, and he finally lost it one day. How come he always gets to go and I don't? And she looked at him, she said, because he knows how to say library.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Oh, Mrs. Lumpkin was great. Old black woman she would call people jackasses all the time, which made us all lose it. Which she said a lot. And these days she'd be fired for. But she insisted that people actually speak English in her class. This is also around the time Ebonics was a thing.
Oh God, Ebonics.
She did not. Ebonics was not a thing in her classroom. You spoke proper English, and if you didn't, you wouldn't get to go to the library.
Well, that article would read: "Racist teacher shames children for speaking their native tongue."
Wouldn't it though? I mean, that's the thing. And as I was watching this, and I was all of the guys in the class, in classes and stuff, they always had headphones on and were looking down at their phone like they don't give a shit about what's going on around them. And I imagine Mrs. Lumpkin in a class today, and she'd be fired for the way she treated kids because she expected them to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But I also was looking at like how they were dressed, and I saw a tweet, a tweet meme the other day. It showed a picture of black guys from like the 50s and then black guys like today. And in the 50s, I mean, they're all wearing nice suits and stuff. And today, you see how nobody wears suits anymore. And the question was posed, are we better off now?
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost to the point watching this show that the black kids weren't expected to what would be considered, when I was growing up, they would actually make jokes about him. Why are you acting white?
Yeah.
And I watching this, it actually hurt me watching this, because these are young kids who are, if football doesn't work out for them, there's nothing for them in the world. Nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're dumb. And that's what we're doing to them, and it's seen as a good thing. As Satsu just mentioned, the headline would read that they're not allowed to speak their native tongue. It's not their native tongue. It's fucking moronics. It's text speech,
or to be themselves, or some shit like that, and then we'd have like fucking 15 Francesca Ramsey videos about the importance of Ebonics and how we use it as a defense mechanism.
Well, here's a question then. So, I mean, there is some portion of this that is laid to our educational standards and the parents and such like that. How much of it do you think is a willful lack of ambition on the part of the kids? Because, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who, it doesn't matter what you look like, who came from disadvantaged situations, who took the initiative and bettered themselves of their own free will and got by their own 2 feet. So do you think they lack that inherently, or do you think they're being like discouraged from such things? What do you think?
Well, I think most kids would be lazy if you let them.
Okay.
And I'm not sure why it seems to be hitting the black community as harder than it is white or Asian communities right now. But there definitely seems to be this idea that it's okay for blacks to be stupid. Not that they are stupid, but it's okay not to, like Mrs. Lumpkin would get fired for what she used to do. In today's society, there would be a fucking article about her. She called a kid a jackass, treated him different than the white kid. I mean, that's what would be said, so that he could remain stupid rather than him being. It's not like blacks can't learn; they can. Satsu doesn't talk in fucking Ebonics when we're talking. He uses proper fucking English. You know why? Because there's no difference in the colors. Stop letting people be stupid. That's what I'm getting at.
I think if we apply the logic and look at the parenting that we saw from what was it Chris Eliza and his daughter or whatever?
Yes.
And you think about kids growing up with that mindset, saying like, you are in a world right now that is built to be a disadvantage to you. Therefore, you are not expected to really excel or go above and beyond. And if you don't, Like if you don't, for whatever reason, like let's just say you're just failing and you're not getting there, just know it's not your fault. It's somebody else's fault.
I don't think that was Chris Liz. I think it was Charlie Pullum-Moore from The Root.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was,
yeah, so I just want to make sure because I don't recall Chris Liz say anything about his daughter. I think that was I believe it was Charlie Pullum-Moore from The Root.
No, okay. Michael, whatever.
Michael Harriet? Oh, was it Michael Harriet? Okay, I apologize. I wasn't sure. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Chris Liza, but okay.
No, okay, I remember. Yeah, I remember the exact order. That was Michael Harriet.
Okay, right. And just having that mindset, I've seen, kids who I grew up with, friends and shit, even now as adults, still kind of carrying that sentiment. Like, I'm nothing in life because this world has done that, and I'm like, okay, well, like, how do you explain all the people who succeeded and got out of the same school who were living in the same situation you were in? And there's never an answer, of course. But they go through life thinking like, well, we're disadvantaged. The world hates us, and there's no way for us to succeed anyway, because that's what the news, that's what the articles are telling you, that's what the colleges are telling you, that's what the schools, the regular basic schools are telling you. Everywhere you go, that sentiment is all around you. So some kids just absorb that shit. Like some people use it as a, as a mechanism to be like, well, fuck that, I'm gonna beat this system then, and they they'll go through. But other kids are just like, oh, then what's the fucking point? And that's usually the go-to, because like Monkey said, if you allow kids to be lazy and not learn, most of them will just opt to do that because they don't want to deal with that shit anyway. So my teachers back in school used to encourage me, and whenever they heard those sentiments, they like shoot that shit out of the sky, because they'd be like, it's true. My economics teacher, I loved him because he'd be like, all you saying about the shit that's going on with black people and the shit we have to deal with, it's not incorrect. But that's not about to be your excuse to be stupid in my classroom. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about your, you saying this is happening and that's happening. I don't care. Did you fucking do your homework? Are you taking these tests seriously? Are you coming to school every day? Because that's your shit. That's the shit that you can control. All that other stuff that you talk about that you have no control over, I don't have no control over that. But I do have control over making sure kids leave this classroom not stupid. And I'm not about to let you do that. And he didn't.
Seriously, if you guys haven't seen the show, at least check out one episode and see how dumb I'm talking about here. It is startling. I mean, by stereotype, you can expect athletes to be, dumb, even though that's not true. It is a stereotype. But the level of moron that you see on this show is fucking mind-blowing. I mean, anyway. That's we're fucking up a whole generation by not having standards.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, we are 3 minutes early, but guys, questions, comments, concerns, anything you'd like to throw our way, now is the time to throw it into chat. We'll do our best to keep up with what you're asking. Make sure if it is a question that there's a lot of question marks behind it. We tend to give those priority, and came out pariety, just because it's we like to answer your questions. Jack says, I just got back. What show are you talking about? Talking about Last Chance U, which, by the way, is a great show. It is, but god damn, those kids are stupid. The one white kid that they did pay attention to, dumber than dirt. I just want to throw that out there too. He does not do anything for the redneck stereotype, because he is a big time redneck. So
without giving any spoilers per se, do they do like some kind of like where are they now kind of thing at the end of the season or episodes about what happened to the kids afterwards?
They do. For the kids who got scholarships or picked up by a Division I or something, they tell you which ones went where.
All right.
There's a heartbreaking one where they tell you this one kid.
Don't tell me.
No, I'm not telling who.
Okay. All right.
It'll keep y'all guessing if you're watching. One of them ended up getting arrested, which pretty much fucks his whole life up for. but yes, just some of them, it's heartbreaking to watch this show if you care about kids at all. And I know they're adults; these are adult men, but
Sure.
they aren't. They need Jordan Peterson in a bad way.
Is it all men? Is it all?
Yeah, because it's football. It's
it's all about football. Oh, okay,
all about football.
I see.
I would be interested to see them do that for other sports, but football is pretty much the only one where you have to go through college to get to the professional league. I mean, you don't have to. There are a few walk-ons, but it is horribly rare. Yeah. Let's see. Sylvanas, are you having issues talking today as the CNN gotten to you as well? No, I have trouble talking now and then. RJ, yes, I am pregnant. Me and Jen got pregnant thanks to Kyler. Damn, Kyler. We told you about winking at the girls, man.
Yeah. Title IX.
John asked if we like the Kentucky Fried Movie. I fucking love the Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yeah, Kentucky Fried Movie, Amazon Women on the Moon. What other? Those kind of the two big ones, I guess.
Yeah, because they are parody movies, basically your Airplane kind of things, but they're a little bit more. What's the word? Random, I guess.
Yeah, because Airplane and Top Secret actually have plots of a kind.
Sure.
But yeah, no, Kentucky Fried Movie and Amazon Women on the Moon are just sort of like a series of skits, more or less.
Data says you should tune into Rep Games if you want to spotlight stupid. Okay, and Data, you did something bad there. Only put question marks if it's a question. Don't just do it to get attention. Did you see the controversial topics asked? Did you see Anne Hathaway virtue signaling about the black 18-year-old girl who was shot and killed by a white guy who was a drug addict? I did not.
I saw the story. I think somebody might have sent it to us on MSS News yesterday. Was it the girl who was shot or the girl who was stabbed on the bus or the subway or something? I forget which. Anyway, yeah, I saw it. I did not know the details, but then I don't pay a whole lot of attention to celebrity stuff when they just say things. So I don't know.
I will check it out. Cynic says, clean your locker room because I said they need Jordan. It is kind of sad because these coaches, I mean, this is a 2-year school. They don't get the kids very often. They're with them basically for like 4 or 5 months. Yeah. So even the coach doesn't turn into a decent father figure for him.
Right.
What else do we have going on here? That was directed at someone else. Where's the Title IX Last Chance?
Title IX Last Chance. I don't know what that
Faith,
means.
what do you mean? Flesh that out for me, because I think that could be an interesting question, but I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Backscan says, with the way IA is going, do you think we will ever reach the point we will have to acknowledge a machine as a person? No.
AI? I was like IA. I was like internal affairs.
Yeah, he said AI. I always do that. I apologize.
Or atheism is unstoppable. I was like, what?
No, I'm sorry. With the way AI is going, no, there's actually kind of a push for it already. Yeah. With the sex bots, believe it or not.
That's where it's going to start. I mean, that's going to be the biggest sort of, just like anything else. Like anything that deals with sex is going to drive a product and an idea forward a lot faster than any other sort of impulse.
Shiogarath's mom, Sherry, is listening to us today, and it's her 50th birthday.
Wait, Shiogarath was born of a woman?
Apparently.
Oh, okay.
I hope you don't kiss your mom with that mouth. But
geez, all
right. Sherry, it's your birthday. I hear you're out there listening, so I hope you're enjoying this. How tall are you? But this one goes out to you, Sherry. I hope you enjoy it. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Satsu.
I'm sorry. Squishy was going to bed and she was talking to me.
We need a snarky comment before we continue.
Wait, whose birthday is it?
It's Sherry's.
Shiogarath's mom.
Shiogarath's mom? Hey, girl.
Happy birthday
to
you. I think you lost the plot, Monkey, with Satsu not talking.
I'm sorry, they're singing to you right now.
Happy
birthday,
dear
Sherry.
Oh my god.
Happy birthday to
What the fuck?
I hope you had a great birthday. I really do. Let's see. That's our longest rendition.
That was definitely unique, a rendition of
Yes,
ours.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Never before like it.
Well, like I had the the headset was like slightly in my ear, so I could kind of hear what was going on, and I'm
You
like,
threw us off completely, Satsu.
I know.
Did, yes.
I'm like,
You
did I
ruined-
hear birthday or whatever? But Squishy
You
was like
ruined
still
Christmas.
talking to me. So
Please.
Let's see. Faith says Title IX was originally about equal representation in sports. Yeah, and it was actually about equal representation throughout college. Sports is what they concentrated on. But if you're asking when is it going to be fixed and go back to what it was supposed to be, I don't know. With all the shit we've seen, I would have thought by now, but I don't. Guesses, guys?
what? I don't know.
I don't know. Like I say, usually these things take something like really major and affecting somebody that people have already a whole lot of sympathy for, or someone who is completely wronged but is also high profile.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that I see, or some egregiously imbalanced case that goes before like the Supreme Court or something. I don't see anything else really changing it, because it's always going to be on a case by case basis kind of deal.
Hi, Kara. Kara says, "How have you three been?" We've been. How have you been? Nice to see you back. Ebony has a great question: Southern food or Mexican food?
Depends
That's
on
a
what it
toss-up.
is, because there's some a lot of Mexican food I have to avoid because I'm allergic to cilantro. But
Right.
yeah. So but yeah, I mean, other than that, it would depend on what it is, because I like both, but it's individual dishes may vary.
I'm formerly fat guy who's diabetic. I take them both. I'll mix the motherfuckers if I have to. You're asking me to like choose between my children. Satsu, Southern or Mexican?
That's hard.
Isn't Mexican technically Southern?
Yeah, I was just
It's like there's like Tex-Mex, it's like
Oh yeah, Tex-Mex is good too. Mash asks, which is better, French dressing or Italian ranch?
ranch.
Thousand Island.
I don't like French or well, French is okay. Not a super fan of Italian dress.
Of those two, I prefer Italian actually. Do y'all think a good Halo movie could be made?
No.
Leave it be. Just watch the cinematics in the games.
It's really hard to make a good movie based on a game because games are so long. You don't realize how long they are until sit there and realize.
Sorry, go ahead.
So just realize how much time you spend in there to get through the story.
It's really like trying to adapt a really complex, long novel into a single film, which many people have unfortunately tried to do. There have been some exceptions, in my opinion, at least, like Silence of the Lambs or Fatherland, which was a HBO movie, I think. But yeah, for the most part, you can't nearly get as much depth of character and storytelling in a movie as you can through a first-person experience, so to speak, of a video game, because there's so much that you just sort of intuit in playing the game and interacting with the world that informs you about what's going on, that trying to get that across in cinema is very, very difficult.
Well, another one of the big disconnects, too, is the fact that most of the most memorable things you do in a video game are the times where you had control over the character.
Sure.
And there's it's really difficult to translate that. Like, you could tell the story, like the cutscenes and shit. But chances are, when people were playing Fallout, they're thinking about shit that they did in Fallout, not what some fucking NPC said to them.
Well, no, see, now, if you're using the setting, but you're not trying to copy the events of the video game, like there's been several like Fallout and Star Wars fan films that operate perfectly fine in the setting and the universe is established that are their own thing. And that's where I think if you're going to make a video game movie, or something like that. The movie should be based in the universe, but not trying to recreate the source material. Use the setting, not the actual deal, I think is the better way to go.
Oh, yeah, man.
Stargazer Nuts wants to remind everybody to come watch me and Satsu. Good night, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Monkey.
That's not what she wanted. Or Stargazer Nuts wants to remind everybody to come watch me and Satsu play Far Cry 5 over on 2 Cents Plus after this stream. Ramen Lewis asks, oh man, you're gonna make me think. What movies do you recommend in the movie genre? Oh, or in the parody movie genre?
The parody movie genre.
Airplane.
Well, Airplane's more like satire. I don't know if it's parody per se. If you don't want to talk about parody, there's a whole list of porno parodies that do a better job of parodying some subjects than actual movies that do it. But you can't watch those unless you're over 18, just saying.
I would say Airplane's absolutely a parody of the airport movies.
Okay, all right. Disaster movies, okay, after fashion. Although I think that it's the in jokes far exceed the actual parodying of that kind of movie. But all right, okay.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah.
Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. That is one title. Let's see. Men in Tights, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes.
Fuck. I'm gonna miss some. The Hot Shot movie, the first one was good.
Oh,
the second
Hot Shot is great. Loaded Weapon 1. You never really hear about that one, but Emilio Estevez and Samuel L. Jackson, for God's sakes. It was great.
Speaking of Loaded Weapon, Naked Gun.
Yes, the Naked Gun. Yes, for sure.
Don't watch 3. Well, 33 1/3 is what it's called. Do not watch that. It's a shit movie.
Or try to find, if you can, episodes of Police Squad, which is based on. That alone was really good to send up of like cop shows and procedurals and things.
But that'll get you started. There's many more, but those are probably the classics. I do like the movie Vampires Suck, but only because the wolf keeps running off.
Oh, God.
Oh, you know what's a really underrated one? Johnny English.
Really?
I love Johnny English.
Well, there's a new one coming out soon.
Yeah, I still haven't watched the second one because I'm always, when there's a second one of a parody movie, it's always Oh, speaking of which, the first 2 scary movies were fun.
Yeah, okay. Legit.
Will you pimp slap Scribbles to read the blurb that was sent to him via Twitter, or do I need to find another way to get this read?
Sorry, guys. I stopped looking at Twitter during the course of the show so I can pay attention to chat or other things and stuff. So.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation and the reminder. Spaceballs. Yes, excellent movie.
Okay, let me do this. Oh, wait, there's more than one?
I don't know.
Is a multi-parter? Oh, it's a thread. Oh, boy, how many of these? Okay, there's 2 of them. Okay, hold on. Tonight on Zealots of Hope County, Satsu and Monkey find what they think is Optimus Prime. In their attempts to awaken the semi-truck into a transforming machine of death, they forget how to use their guns. Will Monkey find the elusive midget acolyte? Will Satsu stop trying to run over Monkey with Derpimus Prime? Will Jen Maxey's commentary break the internet? Tune in to the 2 Cents Plus channel to find out.
Oh my God. So we found a semi yesterday with fucking like fucking helicopter guns on the sides of it.
Okay.
And this thing is like a battering ram, and it's got a fucking eagle on the side of it, and it's American as fuck.
What's its name?
The Widowmaker.
The Widowmaker. Yes.
Widowmaker.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's one of the first quests they send you on in this game, and when you get this, it's almost like cheating. It is just that badass.
It's a fucking tank with guns. I mean, and it's just like a fucking semi.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And we were having some fun with that last night.
Chris R says, just tuning in. Monkey, I told you that's not how anal works.
What?
The title.
Oh.
Because it now says I'm pregnant.
Right.
Let's see. Faith asks, Shio's mom, do you know what your son says on the internet? Oh my God. Let's see. What else do we have here? Lords of the Night, which is, we already did the salad dressing one. Oh, what's the only thing hotter than Demi Lovato? Her spoon, Shio.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, does your mother know you tell jokes like that?
Yikes.
Peanut butter and jelly or grilled cheese? Ooh, that's a toughie. It depends on my mood, actually. I love both.
Yeah. Probably grilled cheese overall, but I'll take both any day.
But there's some days a peanut butter and jelly just feels right.
It does. I agree.
We're getting a lot of ore questions. Charcoal or propane? Charcoal. I do not grill with propane. I'll eat it, but I don't grill that way.
I'm not a fan. I mean, it's convenient, but I much prefer grilling with charcoal.
I only huff glue.
There you go. I picked the wrong week to stop huffing glue. It's one of my favorite lines of that movie.
That's great.
Satsu 2 cents. What's your signature dish?
A signature dish?
Isn't it like your buffalo lasagna or whatever?
No, I mean that's something that Squishy really likes, but I wouldn't call that my signature. Okay. I make basically, I'll say this. My mom used to make the best like collard greens that I've ever had in my life, and now she uses my recipe. So I'm kind of obligated to call that my signature dish because I won't eat anybody else's before I started learning how to make them, and now I won't even eat hers, and she uses my recipe. So I guess that would probably be it.
Sorry, Jaster, I'm not sure what you're talking about here. He says Ranting Monkey, they did a decent run getting things into a web series. When I do this, I scroll back and just try to keep up with all the questions as they come down. So the conversation, by the time I see what you guys are saying, is often past me. So I have no idea what you're talking about. If you tell me again with a little bit of context, I'll know what you're talking about there. Okay, Shio, I'm not reading your dirty stuff online. Starship or Super Troopers or Starship Troopers? I didn't like either, really.
Overall, I'd probably say Starship Troopers. It has more of a sentimental place, and it's a lot like RoboCop and the political commentary that's kind of timeless. Super Troopers, I think, is hilarious, but it is an acquired taste. So
my chat just jumped in the hate. I'm not asking Satsu because he hasn't seen either of them. The hate camel says propane. Taste the meat, not the heat. What the hell are you talking about?
I seen Starship Troopers.
Oh, did you?
Did you see Roughnecks, the Starship Troopers animated series?
Not that I did not see, but I did see Starship Troopers, and I saw it several times because it was the only movie that I had on my PSP other than Dawn of the Dead. So I did see that through very odd circumstances.
Oh, your boy Pat asked, did y'all ever talk about the McDonald's worker beatdown? We did not. We talked about it before we went live yesterday, day before.
Yeah. Like
but we didn't actually talk about it on stream. For those of you who missed it, some bitch threw a drink at a McDonald's manager, and the big woman who's the McDonald's manager kicked her ass.
Yeah, she beats the shit out of her.
And then another McDonald's employee tries to get the bitch away, and the bitch starts hitting her. So she whips her ass as well. I think she got what she deserved. I mean, the manager probably shouldn't have hit her. She probably should have called the cops at that point. But if you throw something at somebody, guys, that's assault, and they have every right to fucking knock you down, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm sure she probably got fired or some shit, but still.
Oh, super chat. Hang on. Thank you, Peter. Some dollary dues for our favorite perverted monkey. Why, thank you. How many perverted monkeys do you know, Peter?
Right.
Well, he works at a zoo.
I'm asking for a friend. What game should I pick to play with you guys more on open server nights? Ark or 7 Days to Die? Depends on how long you want to play. We play Ark longer, but I think we have more fun in 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, probably. Although I'm a fucking me and Flair gonna fight.
What'd Flair do?
That last time he was fucking with me, I had to and he was playing the music. Fortunately, it was like fast forwarded, so you could barely hear it. It was just like little sounds in the background. but I need to really like establish some ground rules when it comes to the streams, because I'm just like I'm really trying to get this channel up, and my channel's still in review.
Well, yeah. For the record, guys, you're free to come play with us, but if you do anything that'll jeopardize the channel, I'm not opposed to kicking you, because it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something that we are allowed to keep doing.
Yeah, I want to keep doing it.
James Holly asks, how and why is Monkey pregnant? Blair White tweeted or was streaming earlier, then her title was she was pregnant, so I stole it. I'm not actually pregnant. That's not clickbait. That doesn't make it clickbait because it's related to a story we were going to talk about.
Oh, jeez.
What?
Is that your logic for that?
Yeah.
That's good job there, Monkey.
Monkey, I'm on your side, and I don't buy that shit.
No, it's true. The
Did we talk about that story, Monkey? I don't remember talking about that story.
We talked about it. It came up that Blair White had a stream going that she was pregnant.
Yeah, okay. That is a thing that was mentioned. It's true.
So, see, that's not clickbait. If you mention it in your video, it's not clickbait.
Okay.
Okay. Scrolling back up. Sorry, guys, this jumped, so I probably missed a bunch here. Shop, it was $2 cheaper to buy a pint than a medium. I have no clue what that's about. Did anyone watch the new Teen Titans Go movie? I don't watch Teen Titans.
Weibo would be the person to ask about that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Wait, there was a Teen Titans Go movie? I mean, the show gets a lot of flack because everybody's like, it's so silly and stupid, and I actually enjoyed it. Like the little bit that I watched of it, I'm like, this is a complete departure from the original Teen Titans, and they went for something totally different, and it's humorous and it's stupid. But I was one of those people who knew, like looking at it, like this isn't the old Teen Titans show, and I just watched it for what it was, and I'm like, this is hilarious. But everybody else is mad because they're like, this isn't exactly like the other show. This is not. I'm like, because it's not. It's fucking idiots. Anyway,
Check Your Logic asked, when did the title change? When I heard that Blair White was doing a stream titled "I'm Pregnant," and Jaster says it wouldn't be clickbait if it had quotes on it. No, it's in the title, so it doesn't necessarily have to have quotes on it. Where was that other one? Matt wants to know our Super Bowl picks. I don't think you guys have any, do you?
No, I couldn't care less about the Super Bowl.
My Super Bowl pick is the team that you aren't rooting for.
My Super Bowl pick every year is the San Diego Chargers, and every year I'm disappointed, but one of these days. Check Your Logic says, I was talking on the phone with a friend for 45 minutes. What did I miss? Well, lucky for you, as soon as the stream's over, you'll be able to watch it in its entirety. You can go back and catch the parts you missed. Let's see. We got 8 minutes, guys. 8 minutes for you to get your questions, comments, or concerns in here. Let's shill again real quick. We have Far Cry 5 coming up right after this over on 2 Cents Plus, and tomorrow over on Scribe Light's channel at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We will be reviewing the movie Judgment Night. Don't miss it, guys.
Yeah, it'll be entertaining either way. Trust me.
Cryptic says, blank, Chargers, get it right, you dirty monkey. I refuse. It is against my religion to say that city with the Chargers, even though that is where they started. RJ wants to know thoughts on Teen Titans getting a 6th season. I don't watch. I don't care. If fans are liking it, I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
The original show, sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be better than that stupid live action thing that they advertised. Fuck Batman. Jesus.
Well, I just saw somebody wrote something about, all the hate the new Black Starfire is getting. Haters are hating because Starfire is black now, even though in the show she's depicted as an orange alien. This is just a shot against, black people and how people hate diversity in shows and yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, well, I don't have a problem with the fact that she's black. I have a problem with the fact that she looks like a prostitute. That's my issue.
Prostitute.
Yeah, I'm not vested in the Teen Titans or most of DC in one way or the other, so I don't really care. But as soon as I saw that preview, I just laughed my ass off because I'm like, did they learn nothing from trying to Nolanize the DC universe? Now they've made Robin. I mean, if this Robin is someone other than Dick Grayson, like this, if this is Damian Wayne, maybe I could see that. But as far as I understand it, it's supposed to be Dick Grayson, and Dick Grayson wouldn't say "fuck Batman."
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, just like no. If it was the bastard son of Bruce Wayne, Damian Wayne, having a problem with his father, then sure, I could see that for sure, but not that character.
Yeah, I think I don't know, man. It just looks like her design just looks all wrong. You could practically still see the jizz in her hair. I don't know. I just
her outfit. If we're talking, I'm talking about the live action pictures we saw.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what this is about or not, but her outfit actually reminds me of the first time we see Jamie Lee Curtis in Trading Spaces. And if you guys haven't seen it,
oh yeah,
yeah. Snubber. Oh my God.
Wow.
Let me try that again. Snubber, thank you so much. The black cosplay community is throwing a bitch fit about the hate for Black Starfire. Well, she's supposed to be orange, so they can have a black person play her, just paint her orange like she's supposed to be. They probably wouldn't get hate for that. Your boy Pat asked if we saw that black people were giving Dan Prescott flack for not protesting the national anthem. No.
Who's Dan Prescott?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's Trading Places. What did I say? Trading Spaces?
I don't recall now.
yeah.
Well, two people have corrected me. Well, it's Jack correcting me twice. James Colley, thank you so much. The one to say fuck Batman would be Jason Todd. I could see that too. I mean, more than Dick Grayson.
After his quote unquote death, but and Damian Wayne's a bit more proper than that. He was raised a bit more sort of prep school, so maybe he wouldn't say fuck Batman. But yeah, either way, not Dick Grayson. That's all I'm saying. Is that the characterization just does not make any sense if that's how he's acting.
Shiogarath, you are a horrible person, and I love you for it. Oh, he's the Cowboys QB. Okay. And apparently, I'm saying a lot of things wrong. I apologize, guys. I'm doing my best.
He doesn't know how to English, so.
Why after giving black athletes on that show shit for not being able to use proper English.
I was about to say, I think Monkey was a secret contestant on that show.
I could have been. Why make Starfire black at all? Where's Cyborg? Come on, DC. Don't make me lose any more faith in you.
Well, Cyborg's already in the movies. They can't use him.
Yeah, he's in the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
4 minutes, guys, and I am sorry. I'm trying to go through and find questions. Didn't some psychic tell Blair she's pregnant? Asked Peter. Yes. Well, told her that she would be.
Right. You will become pregnant. You will have a child, whatever.
Yeah. Which is silly. I saw somebody giving her shit for that, and it was funny.
Yeah.
Because we're all in on the joke, and the poor psychic didn't get it. Which, by the way, guys, is why you don't give your money to fucking psychics. Ramen says it would seem, judging from the summary, Cyborg might make a cameo in the first episode. That could be cool.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if they are. Do they mean to connect the cinematic and the DC universe, or the cinematic and TV universe? Because as far as I understand it, Robin died in the cinematic universe. That was part of the whole plot behind Batman's anger and murderousness and everything, is the Joker killed him.
Yeah, they show the spray painted.
So I guess I don't know if they ever specified which Robin that was. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, because in the comics it was the third Robin, and I don't know his name. I don't care.
I thought Jason Todd was the second Robin.
Oh, was it? I swear it was the third Robin that got killed. I don't remember. I just remember what a big deal it was that Robin was going to get killed.
Right. And they should have left him dead, just like Bucky.
Yeah.
Even though the Winter Soldier storyline is admittedly one of the best comic book / Captain America stories ever done, and Ed Brubaker deserved every reward he got, there were some things that should have remained constant in comic books. Bucky being dead and Jason Todd being dead should have been two of them.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the DC universe, when you're talking about somebody who plays Robin. James Colley says Tim Drake. Okay.
Oh, Tim Drake. That's right. I apologize.
But if you kill somebody that has no superpowers, you can bring him back. Just give him a different fucking name. Make him look different. I mean, Robin has no superpowers.
Yep. Shouldn't have any superstars.
Shouldn't have. Okay. And with that, guys, we are. So I accidentally hit my space bar. Sorry about that. Guys, it is the top of the hour. I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. You guys are fucking awesome. I love when you guys come and hang out with us. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do that tomorrow here. You can do it in 2 other spots. You can come hang out with me and Scribe on his channel at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, as we discussed movies you should have watched, Judgment Night. And then at 7 p.m., me and Satsu will be playing Ark on the open server where you can come join us. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the super chats. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Scribbles, Satsu, a pleasure as always. Everyone, your life makes me sad. We'll talk to you next time. I forgot how to end my own fucking show.
Oh my God, Monkey.
I don't know what to do
Yes, dude. Sleep more.
Bye, guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Say bye, Satsu.
Bye, Satsu.
The fuck is my phone? It's beeping. Bye, guys.